Hello, one more time. Welcome to Why Journey, next episode. I'm so grateful that you're here today and to take a benefit of this material that we're going to work today in this podcast. And I hope it's for the benefit of all those that are tuning to increase a little bit of knowledge on our situation, our condition, when we go back on time and study the root of the cause to every human to understand the implications that we go daily in our living daily life. Today, like I promised in the previous episode, we're going to talk about fear. Why is fear in our society, in our humanity? Why we facing continually layers and levels of fear that everybody can understand why the root of this emotion, we can call it emotion, to trigger our being to live in our mind, to live continually in fear. Today we're going to going into the second chapter of the book that we begin to understand the implication in our humanity in every level. And today we're going to emphasize in the book and Genesis 3 verse 9 through the 13, because it's necessary that everybody again comprehends the root of the cause of things, where the origination of our conditions on this time that we live. So when, like we knew it has been, fall now, we're gonna go in the reason when in the part when God descend to the garden. He usually used to do it all the time, talk to Adam, because they have a great relationship. So, and at this point when he heard that he was coming, since he already disobeyed the command that it was given to him, so now he was able to see something that he was not seeing it before he eat of the fruit of the tree that he was commanded not to eat. And notice the implication, because I need to highlight this pretty strongly for everybody to take. And this is not looking in the way to demonize nobody or to put down nobody, just to look at the implications that took place, and who was the pieces that the enemy used to seduce to disobey that law that was going to cost them a tremendous serious consequences. The reason why I want people to make a conscientious of this is because the strategy hasn't changed. It's still the same person being used to accomplish what the enemy wants to do with man. In that moment of fault of man, a woman that has been created for the helper of man, it was used by the enemy, by the opposite force. So women get the proposition. Who told you you're not gonna die? You will become like God. Okay. Now, when this occurred, something happened. Mankind discovered that they were naked. Remember, they went from one stage to another stage. Why, when he came down and he used one line that he said, I heard your voice and I was afraid. Why he was afraid? Why he felt fear? He was afraid because he discovered, he said, that he was naked. Notice the implication in here. Why before he didn't notice this? Now he feels shame of the nakedness. Now, pay attention, because the nakedness is more than just a physical nakedness. This is pretty good when we kind of meditate in things. It was not just only on regard of his physical nakedness. It's I'm being discovered that I violate a command. So now I'm afraid because I'm aware of it, that I need to face the consequences of this disobedience. See, when you understand, it's not just in regard to one thing. It's in regard of the complete implication that takes that he disobeyed, and in the outcome of that disobedience will be death, a spiritual death. So now he's aware of it. So now he is ashamed not only of a physical nakedness, but also of the nakedness that he been discovered doing what he was told not to do. Okay? So this is one of the implications that we need to look into it, how this took place and how humankind respond to a disobedience that took place, and what was the reaction? What was the condition that came into his being? Why did he feel afraid? I want to bring this now to our modern time, because this is not history. This is reality. Please follow me in what God is going to bring to you today in this podcast. This is not just a theory. This is not just a history. This is a reality that goes on. This reality has not stopped. This is how we need to embrace these scriptures. It's not about, oh, I read this part and I read the book of Genesis. No. It's how I can grab this and implement it in my daily living that I have in this earth. How this will affect my personal life at this time and era that I'm living. How these consequences will bring me the same reaction to my being, to myself. Because this is what I want to get to people so they understand. See, every human understand right from wrong. It's very few people that are not able to spot when it's right and it's wrong. It's logic that we all have to put in place. Now, but we choose to disobey and do what is wrong. And that's the implication of everyone's in this life living in fear. Because the reaction of that action that we commit of disobedience, it will bring shame and fear. Because the shame that you're going to feel is called conviction. And after the conviction, it will come fear. Because you, in the subconscious, you know the repercussions that will come out of that decision. So this is the very necessary that we tune into it, because if we miss that part and we leave it as a story that we're reading, we're not gonna get the substance. See, God created His Word for us to live from it. To pull the substance out of that word to help us not living in that type of fear. Because if we continually doing what is called disobedience, it's not going to be any other outcome. We will start to feel conviction. Man, I shouldn't done what I did. I'm pretty sure that everyone that's going to be watching in here in this podcast, somewhere in their life, they're going to relate to these points that God is bringing to you. So when He came forward, He said, this is the second part of this small paragraphs that we're going to be focused in. First, He acknowledged that He had break a command that was given to Him. And now the fear is taking place because He's aware of the outcome, the consequences of that situation. But now, notice the second part of this. And the reason why I bringing to you this way is for us to understand this, the depth of this. It's not just to leave it as a story. It's not about just to read it. Oh, it's a book of theory that, I'm going to read it and yeah, I get this. But no, put it in the now. Put it in now in your life. Compare, trying to see what is the result that you've been feeling by doing continually wrong. So the only way that He try instead of come forward and says, I'm sorry, I admit that I did what I shouldn't done. Something came in place. Notice this, because this is the thing. That's why it says one bad apple will root 100 apples. So one wrong thought that you give room in your mind and contemplate until you execute it, is going to be continue, bring you another one and another one and another one. This is the part that we don't realize. Because like I told you, your information, the propositions are already installed in your mind. When you execute the wrong thought, that thought, notice this, and I'm pretty sure people are aware of this. When you wake up in the morning, your mind will bring propositions to you for that specific day. And it will be in your behalf. It will be in your part. whether you allow your subconscious to run your present life or you tell your mind, I want you to go back and give me a positive thought. Hear me out because this is very important. The moment that you command your mind, your subconscious to bring you that you don't want to process a negative thoughts, you will correct your whole day for that day. Notice the implication, because this makes a perfect logical sense what I'm saying to you. If in the morning when you open your eyes and be grateful and begin with gratitude, listen very careful. This is why we have the choice to live a good life in this earth and this journey, or to live a very dysfunctional life in this earth, based in the decisions that we allow our subconscious to propose to us daily. Please understand this. This is very, very, very good. And this is why I love that this podcast is being unfolding in this way, because it's been tremendous help for a lot of people. I'm pretty sure if you tune and pay attention to what's been saying in here, a lot of people will benefit from this. And this is the whole idea, to bring that awareness to your life. It says, now I'm going to pay more attention, even to my own thoughts, because I know that my life, my state of peace will begin through my thoughts. So going back to the nakedness of Adam and Eve, the afraid stage that they went in after they break the command that was being given to them. Notice what's the next. Again, not taking a responsibility for our decisions. That's exactly what happened here. The next thing that he says, who told you? He said, the women that you give me make me eat the fruit. Watch this. It was no accountability for his action. It was no say, I admit it, I made a mistake, I'm sorry. No. He justified his action. What do? The same exact scenario. When we commit wrong, we find a way to justify our action. Disregarding that it don't matter how we're trying to justify something, it will have his outcome of the consequence. Please try to engage in this, because it's very important. If we go on justifying the way he did, the women do you give me, because of her I broke the command that I should not break. Now when the women was brought up to the point, it reacts the same way. She didn't took accountability for her disobedience. She said, the serpent make me eat the fruit. Notice notice the contamination, how it spread so quick, so rapidly spread. It's very, very important that we pay attention to this, Because when we understand how we are working in now time, that hasn't changed. It's the same thing. And this is the reason why people prefer the lie rather than the truth. Because if you accept truth, you will have to face these consequences. But if you prefer a lie, you will continue doing it. Like I say, it will continue spreading from one to another, to another, to another. It will be a chain that you won't be able to break, because it will get thick to the level that you will feel nothing but shame and guilt. That's the condition of our humanity. Shame and guilt. But we continue justifying in order to say, I really need to study this situation and try to do what God assigned. Because if we continue going in our way to thinking, instead it comes to the surface, we're going to go deeper. It's very, very interesting that after these scenarios took place and mankind was thrown out of this garden, this special place, and man started going his route that he chose to go, we started seeing the unfoldingness, and we started seeing the growth of sin in every direction. So it is very important that we hold on to these two principles, that this podcast today has been brought up to you. Number one is know why you have fear in yourself. Why are you afraid? What are you afraid of? I'm pretty sure there's something in there in your heart and your mind. So, and this is when we learn how to not to be perfect. Nobody will be perfect, because as long as you live in this body, it can't be perfection. Perfection has come to man. The more, and in other episodes, we're gonna extend this. Man's perfection only will come through Jesus, through his perfection. So it's very, very important that we're trying to understand that man's condition is in a severe deteriorated. And this is why God trying to reach out to whoever's tuning in this podcast to get a call of awakening, to understand who you are, to understand the depth of our condition, to understand the root of the cause, in order for us to begin what this podcast has offered in the introduction. And I'm pretty sure God will deliver what been offered from the beginning. true love, true joy, true peace, true faithfulness, true gentleness, true self-control. See, the objective of knowing God is not to bring complications to your life. No. It's to help you live life to the fullness that was meant to be. But without peace, nobody will find the root of the cause on things. We need to have inner peace. The world always going to be distorted. That's not the kind of peace that we emphasize in this podcast. The peace that we are emphasizing is the inner peace. Because with that peace, we'll find common sense on everything else. At least we try to overcome this flesh. At least we try not to live in justifying things. At least we analyze before we make a decision. Because we are aware of every decision will bring a consequence. Either a good one or a bad one. There's no other way. So this is why we need to be conscientious of our condition at this time that we are. Please try get this for yourself. What is my position at this time? What is my situation that is continually keeping me in fear? What is it that I'm continually living justifying? Because if we continue in that pattern, life is gonna be, that's why everybody is so so discontent. Very, very rare that you find a person that tell you that things are going good. It's a very, very small number of people. And you say, why? Why everybody doesn't? Didn't everybody would love to feel like walking in positivity? Somebody asking, how you doing? I am blessed. That's my response. Just the point that you are alive is enough blessing to bless someone else. It's a win-win when we discover that. So just the point that we are alive, it should put us in that category of gratitude. Gratitude is something that our society forgotten. Because we are become just, selfish. We become, I don't have enough. And that's one of the things that when it's in abundance, it's pretty crucial, because we disregard God's command. Because mankind relay being okay by having in abundance material stuff. But they never realize that they not okay over here and over here. And that is the most important, to be okay. I hope that this podcast, these 2 points, it has bring you the understanding of why I continually feel like I'm in fear of something or someone or something. I don't feel like peace in myself. What is the distorting my peace? Find the root of the cause. Take these scriptures to heart. All God is trying to do is looking the best for everyone's life. Please give him the opportunity to come in and show you that it is a better way to live this life in earth. That it is a reason of your existency. You're not here just to be an extra person in this world. We all here to make a difference one to another. My Lord bless everyone that's watching this podcast. And please don't forget to subscribe, because that will help this podcast to continue forward. Until next Why Journey,